As the world stands up to Donald Trump panics, causing more market uncertainty, causing the markets to continue to tank. Donald Trump took to his social media platform and threatened that if EU does not remove the tariff on whiskey in retaliation to the United States putting a 25% steel and aluminum tariff on Europe, the U.S. is going to put a 200% tariff on all wines and champagne. Donald Trump says this is going to help all of the champagne suppliers in the United States. Donald Trump doesn't realize that you don't make champagne in the United States. Here's what Donald Trump posted. The European Union, one of the most hostile and abusive taxing and tariffing authorities in the world, which was formed for the sole purpose of taking advantage of the United States, has just put a nasty 50% tariff on whiskey. If this tariff is not removed immediately, the U.S. will shortly place a 200% tariff on all wines, champagnes, and alcoholic products coming out of France and other EU represented countries. This will be great for the wine and champagne businesses in the U.S. It should be noted Donald Trump has a failing wine company in the United States. And then when it comes to the champagne industry, there is no champagne industry in the United States. On that news, the markets further tanked. So CNBC then interviewed Scott Bessent, Donald Trump's Treasury Secretary, about these 200% tariffs. Here's what Bessent had to say. Let's play it.
And one or two items with one trading block, I'm not sure why that's a big deal for the market.
Oh, very reassuring. I'm being sarcastic, of course, to hear the Treasury Secretary says it's just one tariff against just a small little trading bloc, the EU. I mean, these people are just absolutely idiots. The Wall Street Journal just did a piece tallying some of the recent warnings about consumers not spending money anymore as America heads into a great recession and potentially even a Trump depression. Walmart, McDonald's, Costco, Delta, Target, Foot Locker, Lowe's, Kohl's, Macy's, and others have been quoted as saying consumers are just not spending money anymore. Consumer angst is striking all income levels. Signs of weaknesses are now showing up in spending on everything from basics to luxuries. Dollar General says our customers continue to report that their financial situation has worsened over the last year. Many of our customers report that they only have enough money for basic essentials, with some noting they've had to sacrifice even on the necessities, even on the basic essentials. American Eagle CEO says they have the fear of the unknown, not just tariffs, not just inflation. We see the government cutting people off. They see programs being cut. They don't know how that's going to affect them. And when people don't know what they don't know, they get very conservative. Reuters reports that the U.S. corporate bond spreads hit its widest in about 6 months on recession fears. Also, one of the main things that we're seeing reach a spike on Google is Boycott USA. Boycott USA has spiked on Google in the past 7 days, with 4 EU countries and Canada topping the search list. We know that Canada has a very strong boycott against all things American and against American tourism. Unless Canadians absolutely have to be in the U.S., they're not traveling to the U.S. and they're not buying U.S. products. That's in addition to the retaliatory tariffs by Canada in response to the U.S. tariffs. We're now seeing those same boycotts spread to the European Union and spread elsewhere. One of the things we also learned is that Elon Musk's hyperactive efficiency drive failed to prevent U.S. federal spending actually rising. You got that right. Federal spending was rising last month when Elon Musk was destroying the lives of all of those government workers and shutting down those buildings. A record $603 billion last month. I wonder if all of those trips that Donald Trump was taking with Air Force One and driving around the NASCAR track and spending all that money at Mar-a-Lago, I wonder if that was adding up to this total. A record $603 billion in federal government spending last month. according to new Treasury data has revealed, highlighting the Trump administration's difficulty in drastically cutting the size of government. In other words, they cut nothing. While they cut the jobs, they actually didn't cut any spending at all. Completely inefficient. Oh, and by the way, you saw the story I did earlier this morning where they shut down their Guantanamo Bay facilities, where they said, we're going to have 30,000 people here. And they had like 180 nonviolent people, and they just shut it down because they couldn't operate it. So what's Trump doing with all of this news? You saw the headlines that I read from you. A lot of those headlines you saw from the Wall Street Journal, right-leaning, more conservative paper. Here's what Trump says. The globalist Wall Street Journal has no idea what they are doing or saying. They are owned by the polluted thinking of the European Union, which was formed for the primary purpose of screwing the United States of America. Their Wall Street Journal thinking is antiquated and weak and very bad for the USA. But have no fear, we will win on everything. Egg prices are down, oil is down, interest rates are down, and tariff-related money is pouring into the United States. The only thing you have to fear is fear itself. And Donald Trump posted that at 5:56 a.m. in the morning. We all know how we are feeling. Do not let these MAGA sociopath abusers gaslight you. We know what we're experiencing. We know we're heading into a recession and potentially a Trump Great Depression right now. Despite Donald Trump saying things are great, they are not. And here's how they're trying to spin it on Capitol Hill. Here's MAGA Republican Senator Bernie Moreno. Here's what he had to say. He goes, look, things are good now. Just think about it. Yeah, things may be down 10%, 20%. People may have lost a lot of their life savings. He goes, but if Kamala Harris won, you'd be down 50%. That's their line now. If Kamala won, you'd be down 50%. So what you're down now is pretty good, all things considered. Play this clip.
What do you want to say about the tariff fight?
Look, we have to remember, step back for just 1 second. We have to remember that if Kamala Harris had won on November 5th, the stock market would be down 50%. Business climate would be a total disaster, and this country would have been on a path to ruin. What President Trump inherited was a disaster from Biden. We're going to fix it. The other countries need our economy more than we need their economy. They've been ripping us off for decades, and we want fair and reciprocal trade. And Canada and Mexico have to stop allowing fentanyl to come into this country and kill over 100,000 Americans. When they actually do what's necessary to stop that, we're going to stop. The tariff penalties will end.
You know, when I see that, it's an obvious fact check, right? That former President Biden handed Donald Trump an economy that was the envy of the world. GDP growth over 3%, unemployment at record lows, job growth hitting record highs. Former President Biden created over 16.4 million jobs. America's economy was the envy of the world. Former President Biden was reducing prescription drug prices. We had 40 to 50,000 infrastructure projects going up across the country. We had the CHIPS Act, which brought the semiconductor industry back here to the United States of America. I mean, things were going well. Well, now you have Scott Bessent going on CNBC, and he's asked by CNBC, so, you know, the markets are going down a lot. Like, what do you make of it? And Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, is like, well, look, we're not really focused on that. We're focused on the real economy, not what you're seeing. What does that even mean? Because we're focused on the real economy. You mean you're trying to do tax cuts for what? The billionaires? I mean, that's your focus while everybody else suffers? Here, play this clip.
Markets. It's another sort of turbulent day here. The volatility has really picked up. We're down another more than 3.5% for the week, almost 10% from the recent highs. I know that you guys have brushed this off, but I do wonder if you're starting to get concerned now that these losses are picking up.
Well, look, Sarah, what we're focused on is we're focused on the real economy. Can we create an environment where there are long-term gains in the market and long-term gains for the American people? I think, having been in the markets for 35 years, I know the market is prone to big unwinds like this. I think we've seen, a lot of position unwinding, and I can't really speak to that.
As Ahmed Baba says, the Trump administration's fundamental stance is that America needs to go through economic pain in order to achieve long-term growth. The problem is all their economic policies will only lead to long-term economic pain. It's nonsensical, and they're tanking an already strong economy. Let's talk about foreign policy. We learned earlier this morning that, of course, Russia and Putin have no interest in doing a ceasefire, although I reported on that before. That should have been obvious. So while Donald Trump and J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio were like, we got Ukraine to agree to a ceasefire, we were like, look, they're just doing those Trump fake deal stuff again. But here's what the Trump regime is focused on. Trump White House has asked the U.S. military to develop options for the Panama Canal. Potential military plans range from partnering more closely with the Panamanian military to a less likely option of U.S. troops seizing the canal by force. Military plans to invade the Panama Canal. U.S. officials told NBC News the White House has directed the U.S. military to draw up options, including reclaiming the Panama Canal through military force. Donald Trump posts, the U.S. doesn't have a free trade. We have stupid trade. The entire world is ripping us up. Then Donald Trump posts again this morning, Canada needs America. America doesn't need Canada. And he's citing Grant Cardone of Cardone Capital on Stewart and Varney. I mean, that's who he's citing. A huckster here from the Financial Times. Russia says it does not want a temporary ceasefire in Ukraine. Republican Senator John Cornyn of Texas goes, Putin doesn't want peace. He wants conquest. Duh. We know that. We know that. But Donald Trump has Putin's back and not who Putin's invading's back. Who's our ally? Zelensky's our ally. Putin's the enemy. Who's Donald Trump supporting? As our editor-in-chief, Ron Filipkowski, goes, I'm shocked, I tell you. Trump, Vance, and Musk have been telling us that Putin wants peace. What happened there? Donald Trump on his social media platform, they're running ads like this. Do you approve of Doge? Yes, it's my money. No, waste is great. As you saw before, they are cruelly getting rid of jobs, attacking veterans, destroying your Social Security, taking away your Medicaid, and they're not even reducing government spending. Government spending is up. It's up to record levels. Last month. Oh, and then Donald Trump posts this. This is one of his last posts from this morning. Secretary of Energy Chris Wright. Trump is a great businessman. Thank God for him. This is what Donald Trump has his cabinet officials. They have to go on TV and just Kim Jong-un it. Here, play this clip.
President Trump is a businessman. Thank God he became elected president. And what we're seeing right now is a master negotiator practicing his craft. He got elected to lower costs and grow opportunities for Americans, and he is working feverishly 7 days a week at that, bringing in other businessmen, having dialogue, some of which you see in public, most of which are happening behind closed scenes. But I could not be more optimistic. 50 days into this administration, we have seen simply tremendous achievements. And wait till you see what happens in the next 50 days.
How embarrassing can you get? This is when he says that Trump is a master negotiator. Just take a screenshot of this image right here. This comes from Donald Trump's own SEC filing. This is from his own stock filing for Trump Media, which made like $4 million. $4 million in total revenue off $400 million in losses last year. So this is what I'm reading from, the 10K. And it just lists all of his businesses that went bankrupt over the years. 1991, the Trump Taj Mahal. 1992, Trump Castle, Trump Plaza Hotel. Chapter 11 in 1995, THCR. Trump Entertainment and Resorts, bankrupt 2004. 2009, bankruptcies. The guy went bankrupt over and over and over and over again. Here are the businesses that Trump failed at: Trump Steaks and Trump Vodka and Trump Mortgage, and just go through the Trump University. Just go through that. Take a screenshot of that. Like, he's been the worst business person in life. There's a reason this idiot has bankrupted everything he touched. He's an idiot. He's not smart. He's dumb. He's psychotic. And yet these spineless Republicans follow this psycho. Just look at what I just said to you. Screenshot it. Read it on your own time. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 5 million subscribers.
Can't get enough Meidas? Check out the Meidas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MeidasPlus.com.